What's this? Cookie clicker.
Cookie Clicker is a game about clicking a cookie.
I
It's
see.
simple at first, but gets increasingly complex.
Why?
The late-game meta has elaborate strategies to maximize cookie production, to unlock all of the upgrades and achievements,
So you
and to
produce
uncover
cookies.
the deep lore of the Grandma Apocalypse, the Crumblord Dragon, and the mysteries of the cookie
Why is there
universe.
lore?
In the beginning, you click the cookie, which gets you 1 cookie. You click again and you've got 2, then 3.
Amazing.
With 15 cookies, you can buy a cursor that clicks for you, making cookies automatically. 10
Okay.
cursors make 1 cookie per second, or 1 CPS. So you make more cookies to buy more
CPS,
cursors to make
dude.
more cookies, and then for 100 cookies, you buy your first grandma. This kindly old woman performs
You can
unpaid
buy
labor to grow
grandmas?
your cookie business. Your cookies become popular in the neighborhood, then renowned all over town. Production accelerates exponentially. You buy cookie
Damn, how many
farms to grow
grandmas?
cookies, mines to extract cookies from the earth, factories to produce cookies
Mines to
on
extract
an
cookies from
industrial
the earth.
scale. The cookie economy transforms the world around it. Chocolate pollutes the rivers. There's an obesity epidemic, but the world is too hooked on cookies to stop. Economists say that cookies permeate the economy, and if we start eating anything else, we're all
Gonna
dead.
die.
Cookie
Okay.
banks start using cookies as currency. At temples, thousands pray to the baker in the sky. There is no value, no ideology, and no meaning beyond cookies.
There
You
is
produce
only
hundreds of
cookies.
thousands of cookies a second, straining the fabric of reality itself. You build wizard towers and alchemy labs to summon cookies magically. You fly in shipments from space of cookies from alien worlds. You open portals to parallel dimensions, taking in millions of cookies per second. Alien
Okay.
beings and cosmic elder gods descend to taste your cookies, and
Damn.
entire cities are engulfed
That
in
must be some good cookie.
trans-dimensional disaster. But the system can't
I
stop.
want to
It can
taste that
only
cookie.
grow. Cookies are all we know. A local confused idiot says, "You've got to admit, all this cookie stuff is a bit ominous." Time machines bring cookies from the past, corrupting history with abominations of dough. You make cookies from antimatter, from light, from pure chance. You make cookies from other cookies, and cookies from beyond the fourth wall. You make trillions
Beyond
of
the
cookies a
fourth
second.
wall.
The foundations of the cosmos
It's
crack under
per
the mass
second.
of the cookie economy. Everything is transformed, either into cookies or into the means to create cookies. The universe becomes cookie dough down to the molecular level.
You know, I remember, I forgot what the video was, but it said that video games use numbers to give us the dopamine that we need, because people are dumb. We go like, big number, we're happy. And I think this is exactly what that is.
An infinite, sentient,
They play with
terrifying
our
cookie
monkey brain.
gestalt. The only escape from the cosmic cookie machine is death. Yet, not even that can save you. When you're ready, you ascend. You leave the mortal world for a higher plane of cookie existence, where you can buy special
Ascended
heavenly
cookies.
upgrades. Then you are reborn into a new game with 0 cookies to start it all again. But you keep certain upgrades and bonuses so you can quickly reach and surpass where you were before. So birth, death, and rebirth
So Cookie
are
Clicker
an
is
endless, inescapable cycle of cookie samsara. And the mechanics get more complex.
roguelike.
Cookie Clicker is an idle game, which means you're not meant to sit there clicking the cookie, you're meant to leave it on in the background while it makes cookies for you, and occasionally come back to spend cookies on upgrades. In the early game, this passive
doesn't make
playstyle
sense.
is efficient. Upgrades like the Golden Lock and the Shimmering Veil optimize for idle CPS. But in the late game, the best way to progress is with an active playstyle, because every 5 minutes or so, a golden cookie spawns. If you click it in time, you get a random temporary bonus, like a cookie frenzy, which
Times
increases
7
your
is a
cookie
lot.
production by 7 times for 1 minute. The best effect is the building special, which temporarily multiplies your rate of production based on how many buildings you have. So if you have hundreds of buildings, that can multiply your CPS by thousands of times over. And if you can stack multiple multipliers at once, you can
So they
increase
stack as
production by
well.
millions of times over. So you want more golden cookies, and to
Is
get them, you
this
need to use the Grimoire, the minigame unlocked at the Wizard Tower. One of the Grimoire spells, called Force the Hand of Fate, summons a golden cookie. So by manipulating the mana pool, by strategically selling towers, and by spending sugar lumps to
I can see how it's addictive. It's addictive and it's brain dead to play the game. It's like very effortless, I think. But I don't understand why people play the game. So many people play this game. And it doesn't and it makes zero sense.
replenish mana, you can cast the Hand of Fate spell several times in a row, reliably
It's the only
generating
game
3
you're
or 4
allowed to
golden
play.
cookies at once. If you're lucky, and these
Oh.
cookies grant multiple building specials, you can generate CPS multipliers of millions of
Feels
times
bad,
regular
man.
production, making weeks worth of cookies in minutes. To optimize these
Because it's an
bonuses
idle
even
game, is
more,
that
you
why?
need certain plants from the cookie garden. The garden grows cookie seeds into cookie plants, which can mutate along a complex cookie evolutionary tree to unlock new seeds with new effects, like thumbcorn buffs clicking, and sheepcap reduces prices. But the real good shit is bakeberries. When harvested, bakeberries give you 30 minutes
There's so much info for no reason. There's no gameplay, and you try to figure out all these things, but there's no end goal. There's no end goal to this game. You're just permanently, forever, fucking clicking the cookie. Not literally, but that's the concept of the game, right? And there's no end game. I don't think there's an end game here. You're just stuck there. There's always more, 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 more. It's crazy. My brain can't rationalize it.
worth of cookie production instantly. So if you harvest while you've got a huge CPS multiplier from golden cookies, you can make months worth of cookies instantly. You can fill the garden with bakeberries, freeze them at maturity, and keep spawning golden cookies till you get a huge multiplier, then harvest all of the bakeberries at once for massive profit. Alternatively, you can go for the Click Frenzy golden cookie effect, which synergizes with the Godzamok Pantheon idol. Once you've got Crumblor, the cookie dragon, you can also do some pretty wild shit with the Dragon's Fortune and Dragonflight auras. Though for passive play, the Breath of Milk aura is usually ideal
Remember when it was just grandmas baking cookies? Yeah, there's dragons now.
for the buff to kittens. Of course, the seasonal events like Christmas are also essential, so you can upgrade Santa from an elf fetus to a bulky elf to Elder Santa, and then to Final Claus, who grants dominion of
What
his
the
realm
fuck?
and a cheeky 20% CPS bonus. So the late game
Baby Santa, Elf Santa, Adult Santa, and Final Claus, and he just becomes like Cthulhu or some shit.
involves a variety of strategies to min-max for optimal cookie production. But the cookies are not without cost. As production increases, the
Huh?
grandmas grow discontent. You make me sick, Grandma says. You could have stopped it, Grandma says.
Oh no,
After
Grandma's
the
disappointed
Bingo
with you.
Center upgrade and the One Mind tech tree, the Grandma apocalypse begins. The indentured labor force at the bottom of the pyramid rebels.
What
A hive mind
the
of mutant grandmas
fuck?
rise and transform the globe into an eldritch
They look like dicks, don't they? Yeah.
horrorscape of cookie-based monstrosity. Wrinkled flesh tendrils are visible from space, writhing
So the
masses
grandmas
of dough
evolved
engulf
into
whole cities, spraying
zombies.
across the globe like an infectious virus. The only way to end the
Bro.
Grandma apocalypse is with an Elder Covenant. You can sacrifice some economic gain to save everyone. But it can actually be more efficient to continue the disaster and send everyone
I would like to know how the devs of this game have a meeting. I want to know. I want to listen to how they think of content for this game. Because it feels like some random shit. They might be on LSD or something when they think of new content for this game. It's crazy.
back to work anyway, because the Grandma Apocalypse spawns wrinklers. Wrinklers leach 5% of CPS, but when you pop them, they give back more cookies than they took. So you can increase economic production by risking the lives of the elderly. Disaster is actually an opportunity to exploit
It's
the
all made
vulnerable
by
to
one
make
guy.
more wealth.
He must be on
Ultimately,
drugs
the
or
cookie
something.
economy is not designed to help people. It just makes cookies, like a
It's like what it feels like. Whatever he thinks of, he just puts in. Like, what else can we do to make the numbers bigger? Oh, let's put this mechanic where it multiplies the production by 7, and let's call it Zombie Grandma or something. It's fucking my brain.
virus or a tumor. Its nature is to exploit everything around it for its own expansion. Grandmas, banks, temples, every part of life is perverted to serve the purpose of the economy. Nothing is too sacred to be sacrificed on its altar. And for what? What's the point of a massive global economy if it fails to protect the elderly and the vulnerable? Even those with the most cookies don't really benefit from the system. Past a certain level of wealth, you can never spend that many cookies. And it's not like the game ever ends. You cannot win cookie clicking.
Yeah, there's no
You
winning.
just keep making cookies until you stop or you die.
There it
You're
is.
just hoarding cookies for its own sake. It's not really
For the
about the
lulz.
cookies. It's about the accumulation, getting more. You could be collecting any meaningless number. Points, subscribers.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's the big numbers that hits you with that dopamine. Like, oh, I got 178.342 duodecillion. If you can fathom how many that is, and you're like, and your monkey brain's gonna go, "Ugh, yes, big numbers, good." But you can't even fathom that much cookies. Like, what is that amount?
Small green pieces of paper. Past a certain point, you're just making a number go up.
Yeah.
And it's not even a real number, because, like, look, behind the scenes, you can cheat. You can literally type in a number and print 2 trillion cookies out of thin air. Their value is imaginary. And yet the lives and health of our grandmas are being risked to increase this imaginary number. The problem is that a system designed to make cookies is not designed
That's
to
true.
make
You can just type it.
well-being or justice or
And then
happiness. Any system of endless growth, of singular purpose that warps the whole world around one goal can only grow until it self-destructs. And the only way we can escape such a game is to stop playing.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video about
this game
Cookie
makes
Clicker.
0
You can
sense
play
to
the
me.
game at the link below.
That
The
is
game is made
crazy.
by Autiel and Opti. Consider supporting them on Patreon.
Oh, 2 people
Make sure
made
to
them.
click the like and click subscribe and click the bell so that our numbers go up. Thanks to patrons Jada, Fontura, Demores, Jamie Starr, Lisa Pendleton, and Legless
Those
Legolas.
guys
Cheers.
must have been high as fuck when they made that game. That's crazy. Like, there is no point to the game. It's kind of like Candy Crush, but it's an idle game, which makes it more crazy. Because you're not even playing the game. It's just there on the background of your computer and you're doing nothing.